Hey everyone, welcome to the Working With series, and I'm going to be talking about different populations that show up in therapy and the unique considerations that come with supporting them. Today, we're going to be talking about first responders. First responders include professionals such as firefighters, police officers, EMTs, paramedics, dispatchers, and other emergency personnel who are regularly exposed to crisis situations and traumatic events as part of their job. Because of this nature of work, supporting first responders in therapy requires a slightly different lens. One of the first things to understand when working with first responders is the culture. It's what surrounds these professions. Many first responder environments value toughness, emotional control, quick decision-making, and ability to perform under intense pressure. These qualities are necessary for doing their jobs well, obviously. That's why they chose them. But they can also create barriers when it comes to mental health support. Many first responders are trained to push through discomfort, compartmentalize emotions in order to function in these high-stress environments. Over time, this can make it difficult to slow down, process experiences, or even recognize when something is affecting them emotionally. A lot of times in trauma therapy, I always like to tell my clients, our brain has a hard time differentiating between a fire and, a test that we're taking one day. And the reality of working with first responders is they are in the fires, they are in the high crisis zones. Therapists working with this population often need to spend time building trust and credibility, showing respect for the work that they do while creating a space where vulnerability can feel safe. Another important factor when working with first responders is the frequency of trauma exposure. Unlike a single traumatic event that someone might experience in their lifetime, first responders often experience repeated exposure to trauma. This can include serious accidents, violence, death, medical emergencies, and witnessing people in the worst moments of their lives. Over time, repeated exposure like this can impact the nervous system and lead to symptoms such as hypervigilance, sleep disturbances, emotional numbing, irritability, and intrusive thoughts. In therapy, it's important to remember that first responders have learned to function while carrying these experiences, so symptoms may not always present in the obvious ways. For many first responders, the profession becomes a significant part of their identity. The role of the protector, the helper, or rescue can be deeply meaningful. However, the idea can sometimes make it difficult to acknowledge personal needs and struggles. Some first responders may feel that asking for help means they're failing their roles that they've committed themselves to. Therapy often involves helping clients explore the idea that strength and support can coexist together. Seeking support doesn't take away from their ability to serve others. In many cases, it actually helps them sustain their careers and relationships over time. When working with first responders, therapists often focus on helping clients reconnect with regulation and safety in the body. Because these professions require constant alertness, the nervous system is always in prolonged activation. So never really being able to just sleep without worrying, never really being able to take a breath. So a lot of interventions include grounding techniques with somatics and breath work, a lot of mindfulness, and noticing to practice these things in the smaller moments, while we're sitting in traffic, while we're in New Jersey and people drive slow in the fast lane. In addition, approaches like trauma-informed therapy, parts work, and other integrated modalities can help clients explore the different internal responses that develop as a way of coping with the repeated exposure to stress. The goal is not to remove the strengths that help them to do their job, but rather to create a balance between the activation and their recovery. If you're a clinician working with first responders, or if you're a first responder yourself, take some time to have conversations around mental health. Create space where the experience can be acknowledged and processed. It's more meaningful than you may realize. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.